there, fellow travelers. Mark here with woltersworld, and today we're in the Piazza Mercantile here in Bari, Italy. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting Bari. And I think the first and most important thing you need to remember when you come here is don't forget to pay your respects to St. Nicholas. Yes, you know, that St. Nicholas, good old jolly St. Nick. Yes, his tomb is here. There's the Basilica of San Nicola that you can go and visit, and there's a crypt underneath you go down. His tomb is there, and you will see people praying there. You'll see people celebrating there. It's a fantastic church to visit in general. It's the most important church that's actually here in Bari. And the thing is, you have pilgrims that come from the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church to visit there, and it's really a great experience, but it's something you really need to do. You got to give respect. I mean, all those Christmases that you got all those great gifts, don't forget how much St. Nick helped you out, okay? But definitely go check that out. And then after that, you can go to the San Sabino Cathedral, which is also beautiful to check out when you are here. So you have those two main churches to check out, but yes, St. Nick, come on. Thank you for all those Christmases of wonder, my friend. Okay, now the second don't I have for you is when you come here, you're going to see there's a street where all these nonas, all these grandmas and ladies are making Orechiette. They're making pasta, the special kind of pasta from here. And you're going to go and you're going to take pictures. You're going to take videos of them. You're going to do all those things. But then don't forget to actually buy some when you're there. Don't just take their picture, buy some. We bought 2 bags yesterday for like €5, and it was so worth it because we got to see the lady and she was making them and they had them out there, and it was just a really cool thing. And that's one of the things you do when you're here. You go see the ladies making the pasta. So don't forget to go, but also don't forget to buy some from them to help support them. The thing is, when you're looking up things to do here in Bari, you'll notice that probably 7 of the top 10 things they start to recommend to you for like what to do when you're here are cooking classes. And I'm going to tell you, don't pass up cooking classes when you're here, because Puglia, the Puglia region, has fantastic food. And if you can take a class here, whether it's learning how to make those orecchietti, the little ear pastas or other pastas, or just learning how to cook some of the great food that's here, my goodness, if they would teach me how to make the panzarotti, the fried puff like calzone kind of thing, oh my God, my life would be complete. But you have all these great classes, so don't forget that you can sign up for a cooking class or two. And speaking of something that sounds like it could be food or cooking but isn't, is don't think that pane e pomodoro is a sandwich. Pane e Pomodoro is actually the beach that's closest to Bari. So if you're staying in Bari, you can walk to the beach, you can take a bus, you can take a taxi, but that's the closest beach to you. Oh, if you didn't know, Pane e Pomodoro means bread and tomatoes, okay? But that's a really close beach. But I gotta tell you, don't think that Bari has the best beaches in Puglia. If you want to go to some of the great beaches that are here, you're going to have to rent a car or get a ride out to some of those beaches and out to some of those different places. Like, even if you just go to Pognano a Mare, which is just south of here, I mean, you can take the train in like 35, 40 minutes and have a great beach there. That might be something you want to look out for, okay? But I got to warn you, don't expect to find a lot of free beach space when you're there, meaning not a lot of space, but also not a lot of free, not paying beach space. So you probably will have to drop a little money to get a beach chair or the umbrella. It's usually worth it to have that guaranteed spot, but just know you're gonna probably have to pay for that because it's hard to find that free space sometimes, especially in the high season when those free spaces are already taken up. So whether you're going to see Basilica St. Nicholas in the cathedral, or you're coming here and going to check out the architecture in Bari Vecchia, the old town, or if you're gonna go to the beach, don't forget your sun protection. I'm here in the morning and the sun is just beating down. So make sure you have your sunblock. Maybe you dress up a bit more to protect yourself from the sun, because I've seen a lot of burned tourists here. So you do want to be careful with that. So remember, reapply often. We're getting closer and closer to the equator, so the sun is more and more powerful. So if you're coming from Scandinavia or the northern US or something and you're visiting here, do be prepared for that, okay? I don't want you getting burned. Now, another thing you don't want burned when you're here, but you do want to try is don't forget to try the focaccia barese, which is the local focaccia here. And focaccia is like a really fluffy, kind of almost like pizza dough bread, and in it they put tomatoes and olives, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's a really special one from here, and if you can get it warm, oh, that is the best, or even hot, but if you don't burn your mouth, but it's so good. I mean, you can go to the stores and pick it up here, take it back to your apartment, heat it up in the oven, and it's still fantastic. But yes, the focaccia here is incredible. And don't forget to say grazie to the people of Puglia, because they have given us probably the best aperitivo snack in Italy, and that is the taralli, which you'll see are like these little circle, crispy kind of things. I mean, my son said it's basically the goldfish of Italy because he saw it all over the place and they're so good and they come in all kinds of different flavors. This is where they're from, so definitely get some, and you will have some when you're having your drinks, but also maybe get some to take home, but also just say grazie, thank you, because it makes it so nice when you have that aperitivo or that beer and you have those to snack on. So good. Now, I know a lot of people like to do Puglia road trips because Puglia is gorgeous. There's so many towns you can go see, beaches, and I'll talk about some of those on the day trips later on. But I think one of the things that's really important to think about is don't come to Bari first on your road trip of Puglia. What you should do is fly into Bari, get your car at the Bari airport, and then go explore, okay? Go to Medera, go to Alberobello, go down to Puglia Mare, go and see the other stuff, go down to Lecce, and then come up and drop off your car again at the Bari airport, and then come in with public transportation or a taxi into Bari, because you don't want to deal with a car in Bari, especially Bari Vecchia, the old part of town. It's just not something you're going to do, okay? So that's what I recommend. Go explore Puglia, come back, drop off the car, then see Bari. And the thing is when you're doing that road trip, or even if you're just staying here, don't forget about the incredible UNESCO World Heritage Site, totally awesome day trips you can do from here. I'm only going to mention a few of them because we actually have a video that goes through some of the good day trips, but one you want to go to is Medera. And Medera is one of the oldest cities in Europe, like one of the oldest cities in the world that you can go visit. It is gorgeous. You can go to Alberobello, which has the Trulli houses, which looks like, you look like it's like maybe a colony on Mars or something like that with their houses that are there. There's lots of beaches you can visit when you're here. There's a white city you can go to, Puglia Mare, to go see that. Monopoli if you're looking for a nice little small town. There's tons and tons of day trips you can do from here. And yes, a lot of them you can just take a bus to there. Some you can take a train to. You can also hire guides that will take you around on day trips to take you to a lot of these places. So you do have a lot of options when you're here. Now, if you want to see something really historic and fortifying, don't forget to go to the Castello Svevo, which is a Norman castle that's actually here. Now, don't expect to see a lot of historic stuff inside, but they actually do exhibits in there. But I do recommend when you're walking through, look at the pillars and the columns and look at the top of them, because each one has like kind of a different kind of motif on the top, which is kind of cool. But you'll also see what a Norman castle really is, where it's really fortified and not a ton of windows. It's only like €6 to go in, so well worth doing. And here's one of the things I got to tell you. Don't feel like you have to do anything when you come to Bari. Bari is fantastic. Even if you just walk around the Bari Vecchia, the old town, you walk on the walls, you walk along the port or whatever, the water, it's just a great place to relax. Coming here to Piazza Mercantile and having a drink with people, or just right down the way to Piazza Ferrarsi or down the main boulevard. There's plenty of places you can just stop and chill out at and just relax, because this is actually a wonderful city. And in the evening times, it comes alive. The locals are walking around. You see them going through. I mean, it really is a wonderful city to visit and just relax in. And you don't have to do all the tourist stuff, but you totally can. Now, another thing I got to warn you is when I told all my Italian friends that I was coming to Bari, and most of my Italian friends are from the north, they all said, don't worry. The people are super friendly. The food is fantastic. You're going to love it. Bari's wonderful, but don't be lackadaisical about your safety when it comes to your watch, your wallet, your phone, your bags. Bari has a reputation, and the thing is the historic center, you're going to be okay here. It's been cleaned up a lot. They put a lot of money into here to make it really great for tourists, but you still need to pay attention when you are in Bari, especially if you're leaving the old town and the neighborhoods right near the old town. Do be aware of your surroundings and your stuff. Now, another thing I think is important, if you're looking for accommodation here, there's a lot of like bed and breakfasts, there's a lot of small hotels, but there's a lot of apartment rentals. And one thing I'm going to tell you is don't forget to ask where the electrical box is in your apartment rental, because electrical can be an issue here. And sometimes the city loses electricity, not very often, but a lot of times the apartment's electrical can't really handle like an air conditioner and all the stuff going in the toaster, so it might pop the switch. So you might just need to flick it up, but I do say make sure you know where that is, okay? But I think again with accommodation, don't stay anywhere except in like Bari Vecchia or right near here, because this has all the sights you want to see. This is all the stuff you want to do, where all the great restaurants are, because oh my God, the food here is fantastic. So do try to stay in the Bari Vecchia, the old town. That's really beautiful, and you got the winding streets, and it's just one of those things you really want to stay and be in and enjoy. And I think another thing I should tell you is don't be afraid to go into an alleyway to get dinner or lunch, because there's so many little restaurants, so many little bars you can go to and grab a bite to eat in the old town that it's just so cute, it's so quaint, and the food is fantastic when you're here. Yes, you have the Orechiette, the little ear pasta, but there's so much more you can enjoy when you are here, because Puglia really has incredible food, and we actually have a video on our Wolters World Eats channel talking about the food in Puglia and Bari that you're going to really enjoy. So I know I said you should stay in Bari Vecchia, which is totally fine, but also don't forget to go explore outside Bari Vecchia, because you can go and see some incredible shopping, all kinds of churches, museums all over the place, little galleries to go to, and great architecture as well, because you see these towers all over town. Because one of the cool things is just taking in the architecture throughout the city. It is really awesome. So don't just stay in the old part. Go and explore more of the city, because don't forget about all the small churches and museums and galleries, because you'll see the theaters around town. You'll see the small churches, the big churches. It's not just the cathedral here or St. Nicholas. There's a lot to explore. And when you're going out and explore, don't forget to try out your Italian while you're here, because here they're going to let you practice your horrible Italian, because you know what? They're totally cool with that. Unlike some of the other tourist destinations around Italy, which will switch to English, you're like, well, just go English. No, you can actually practice Italian here. That's why this makes a great place to study abroad if you want to come to Bari, because they got a good university, lots of classes. If you're a student in high school studying here, lots of people to meet, because the people are super awesome. Because that's one thing I want you to know. Don't forget to try to meet some of the locals here in Bari, because they're so friendly and so outgoing. They want to hear about your time here. They want to learn about you. It's really, really wonderful. And one of the things that can really help you out, another thing I got to tell you is don't forget to make eye contact and a smile, because it goes a long way here. Whether you're looking to see, is there space in that restaurant? Hey, waiter, could you come take my order? Oh, could we get the bill il conto? Eye contact, the wink or eye contact, a smile goes a long way to get people to come over and, help you out. Another thing I think is important to mention is don't think it's just tourists eating at tourist restaurants where you're here. The locals eat at those restaurants as well, because there's so many places to go and so many tourists do come here that you will see locals and tourists eating together. That's why it makes it so good of actually meeting locals here in Bari, and makes it so fun to be here, because you have that opportunity, okay? So I hope this helps you know some of the do's and don'ts of visiting Bari. If you want to know what to eat when you're here, go check us out on our Wolters World Eats channel. We've got a video on what to eat in Bari and Puglia, this region, and there's all kinds of other things to help you out on our website at woltersworld.com. And have a great time here in Bari. We know you will.